Hello everyone, today I'm going to be redesigning some of my oldest Warrior Cats OCs. Right here is actually a picture of them from 2010, right around when they were first created, so I was like, in 5th grade. Fuzzyfire is actually, I think, my oldest Warrior Cats OC. It was pretty much my self-insert OC at the time. I got the name from the Warrior Cats website. I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but you would go to the Warrior Cats website, you would type in your name, and then you type in your hometown, and then it would generate a Warrior Cats name for you. And Fuzzyfire was the one I got, so I actually think Fuzzyfire might have been created more towards 2011. Because this is a picture of the first digital Warrior Cats drawing I ever did, and it was made in 2012. I like how even in this photo, I still have the very distinctive white around the eyes. I think I've always really favored simplistic Warrior Cat designs, stemming from when I first got into this series, and just looking at the classic art covers of the books. Like, I always picture Rusty as just like literally solid orange because of the Into the Wild cover. So with Fuzzyfire, even in like the oldest photos I have, she's just, solid orange with whites around the eyes. The white around the eyes comes from like tabby markings. So that's why in this new one, I put just some stripes on there to indicate that she is like a pseudo tabby. Here is a redesign that I did like probably a year after that first digital photo, as I'm sure a lot of you will recognize the base that I used. But even in this one, very simple design, pretty much on purpose. Or maybe lack of skill, I actually don't know, but I think it's funny how even now I choose simpler designs. Not because I can't do complex designs, I just prefer them. The next time I did a redesign, I tried to make Fuzzyfire a lot more masculine, because I was in my egg phase then. But I had renamed her to Russet Fire at that point. And since, like, in my OC canon, Fuzzyfire was the daughter of Squirrelflight, I gave Russet Fire the one white paw. And that transferred over to this redesign. You can see that in the redesign, she does have one lighter foot that's much more distinct than the others. But for this specific redesign, I decided to go back to her roots because I think that is much more true to her character. But anyway, let's talk about the other character I'm redesigning today. His name was Darkheart, and originally his design was actually like solid ginger with like a black chest. But like at some point, I got his design confused. There's like two parts of his design, and I got them mixed up. And I started drawing him as black with a ginger chest, and I just prefer that aesthetic more. So I kept going with it. He never really had like a personality. He was just like childhood love who then tragically dies and you pine for the rest of your life type character. But when I think about him now, if I were to use him, he's just himbo dilf. That's his character. Big ol' sweetheart. I know I did a Google search of the name Darkheart because I'm like, there's probably other ones I have to see, and apparently there's one in like the Domino Claw universe, which I know absolutely nothing about. But I will say I came up with the name Darkheart when I was like 11, so I'm not. Swear to God, I'm not copying. Who knows? Maybe the other Darkheart character was around when I was 11. I don't know. When I was redesigning Darkheart, I was like, you know what? I want to make this more kind of like muted and semi-realistic. So I changed the ginger to like a light brown. So it kind of faded with the character more, and I changed the black to like dark brown just so I could like cohesively make the design into something a little bit better. Then I realized I did miss the bright orange, so I ended up changing it back to bright orange, and I still think it looks pretty good. I mean, like, the whole character is like a dark cat with a bright orange chest. Like, that's his whole design. How could I not do that? What was I thinking? even when looking at older art I have of him, like his whole character is black cat with ginger chest. Design makes no sense, but I do like it. I really like how the redesign came out. I think it looks really good, especially since it's like obviously a giant heart on his chest. Side note, if your character or you're drawing a canon character and their name has heart in it and you don't put a heart on their chest, what are you even doing? Like, come on. Reconsider and just do it. So here's the finished photo. I think they both came out really cute, but in the spirit of Fuzzyfire, I wanted to design a new character. Like, since Fuzzyfire was a self-insert, I'm like, well, I gotta make a new self-insert since I have, transitioned and I am a completely different person than who I was when I was 12. It literally was 10 years ago. A lot has happened. So in 2011, I actually wrote down the entire like chart. Like I went to the Warrior Cats website and I put in every possible combination. I wrote down what came out of all of the first name letters and what came out of all the hometown letters. So if we consult the chart, my new Warrior Cat name would be Running Fire, which goes so hard. Like that's such a cool name. I really like it. So now I'm just gonna design a new character. And I decided I somewhat wanted to design Running Fire to pretty much just look like the child of Fuzzyfire and Darkheart because I feel like that's pretty fitting. And I really wanted to be evocative of like shape of flames on like a dark background. I don't know if I really got that with the final design, but I think it looks pretty cool enough. And I know looking at it, I feel like the orange and like since Fuzzy Fire is essentially like pink, I don't think the orange and the pink blends really well. But I couldn't really get the orange to be like finding the in between of those two colors was rough, but I think it looks well enough for what it is. I will probably have to go back and find a color scheme to blend them together, but I don't know how I want to do that because I feel like if I go more orange, then the character, won't invoke enough fuzzy fire for it to be meaningful. You know what I mean? So my original story for Fuzzy Fire was as a child, a small child, she was taken from ThunderClan and then pretty much grew up in WindClan and then like had a whole life over there. Pretty much I just because I wanted her to be the daughter of like Bramaclaw and Squirrelflight, but like WindClan was my favorite. So I'm placing Running Fire in WindClan because why not? Maybe he ran away. But altogether, I think the redesigns of my old characters came out super well. Running Fire will probably need a redesign at some point, but I really like just how this photo came out. I really like the pose. I really like the background, and I think the design works for what I wanted to kind of go for. Right? If you guys thought this was interesting at all, I do have a bunch more old OCs. I do kind of want to redesign, and like some of the names I still really like. Like I have a character named Wind Ruffle and Sundrop. Those are cool names. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I have a video coming out relatively soon that I've been working on for like actually a month. It's only like 30 seconds long, but I'm gonna be so stoked when it comes out. And then I'll probably make a video going into how I made it and my process behind it. Because the last time I did that, the video did relatively well. So I will talk to you guys in that video. Have a good one. Later. And with how the Warrior Cats website worked, I mean, a lot of people got the same names. So when I was on DeviantArt, there was another user named Fuzzyfire, but she actually made art of our two Fuzzyfire OCs together, and that's just really sweet. Shout out to Fuzzyfire932.